what is guilt as an emotion?
Like, what's my interpretation of guilt?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think the emotion of guilt stems from some kind of knowledge that what you've done was wrong, or that you know you'd do it differently if you had the chance to. And the fact that it wasn't that way you wished it was makes you feel guilt.
So would you say it's somewhat like regret?
I think that you could be like, oh, I regret this thing, but not really think about it too much. But I think that you can also live in like a constant state of guilt and regret. It's like, I just feel so guilty that I did this thing to this person, and I can think about it every single day, and it would consume you if you don't learn how to accept it or control it or figure out how to just stop that.
I like to always keep it in mind and to know that I can grow from those experiences. And I think that's a good way for everybody to look at guilt and regret, is that it's a way for you to improve, and it's something that everybody, I think, needs to have at least once in their life to make them a whole person.
I don't think I feel it every day. Lately I have, though. Lately I have. But I don't think it's an everyday emotion, no. I definitely think it plays into other everyday emotions, though. Like anger and sadness a little bit. I think it's kind of like a mix of both.
You say that lately you've been feeling guilt. How would you describe that?
Like, why am I feeling guilty lately?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to graduate, and this is like the busiest time. This is the busiest I've ever been in my entire life. So I've been having a really hard time managing my time with that, and still making time for these amazing people that I love in this community that I've become a part of, while also making time for the important work that I'm doing in my career. It's been a really hard balance to figure out, and I'm realizing that priorities are popping up faster than I could pick them out.
A bit of backstory. Before I graduated high school, I met this really nice girl, and we stayed in touch while I was at college. And I remember I kept saying, like, look, this is long distance. If this is going to be something we're going to do, it probably wouldn't work out. You should really look into, talking to other people. We're just messaging, And she kind of insisted that, she'd wait for me. And I remember that feeling of like, oh my God, someone likes me. And I eventually, after a couple of years of being in college, tried to pursue that relationship. And it lasted for 2 years before I started to realize that this person was not someone I thought they were. And after breaking it off with them, they started to express hate and regret. And I realized that I should not have pursued that relationship in the first place.
So my story with guilt and with how it affects my present and past is that I was involved with a guy in a 3-year relationship. And we started talking it was my spring break. Or no, we started talking in February. Spring break, we kissed. He was on a break with his girlfriend. Another couple months, he wished me happy birthday. And then a couple weeks later, we ended up having sex, and it was my first time. And he was still in this relationship with a girl for 3 years. And it's one of my biggest regrets. I regret cheating so much. I think it had a major toll on how I viewed myself as a person and how I view a lot of other people. It changed the way I think about relationships. it changed the way I viewed most men in general.
I believe in, like, I don't know if you can believe in this, but I believe in the butterfly effect, where it's like one small thing can change like everything. Like, so yes, I think you can write a very amazing paper, and now you want to be like this, like, you can write a book or something. I don't know, like, I feel like your past 100% affects your present.
Yeah, it's definitely hindered my, like, personal life, like literally just my work in general. Like, I'll be editing something and working on some work related to alt news that's really important, but I'll realize that I've bailed on my friend for the past like 3 times in a row, and instead of editing or doing something related to my work that I need to be doing, I'll be like, shoot, I feel so guilty, I've been bailing on this person for so long, I gotta take the time to see them and hang out with them and do this. And I want to, but a lot of the times that guilt like really stopped me from doing things that are really important that I need to be focusing on. So it's definitely affected me. That's why I've realized that I need to feel a little less guilty, because the reason why I'm bailing is really important. Like, the reason why I'm missing out on all these things is for a reason.
But if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have found my boyfriend, because they were friends at the time, and I was actually on kind of a date with this guy whenever my current boyfriend came. He bombed a hill on his skateboard and just kind of like appeared, and I didn't know him at all. I thought he looked like a grown-ass man. He looked about 30. But he just kind of came out of nowhere, and then a couple months after that, I broke everything off with the guy that I was talking to, and I told him about how it was making me feel and about how his girlfriend deserved better and that I deserved better. And then not too long after that, me and my current boyfriend went on our first date, and it happened completely on accident, but it just felt right. And I feel like if it wasn't for those moments in the past, we wouldn't have ever met and ever been together, and we're still together 2 years later.
So in some way, do you feel like this guilt is rational, or do you feel like it's something that you just can't get out of your head?
I don't know. In the sense that something's rational if it like serves a purpose. I want to say guilt serves a purpose. I mean, it's an emotion, right? It's a human thing. There's got to be some reason that we feel that. And if there is one, I think it might just be that we are aware that what we did was wrong, and then we have to figure out what to take away from that and how to learn from the experience.
I think experiences that I've had, like, personally with people, like, change the way I view the world, I guess. It's like personal experiences that's like, okay, I did this, but now, since I did that and it was horrible, I never want to do that again. But I feel like you need those experiences to be alive. Does that make sense?
There's so many factors. Time is the best healer, though. Making sure you have any outlet to communicate to, like, at all, who supports you, who you feel non-judged by, who you could talk to. You know, just communicate to people too. Like, if you did something wrong to someone or something bad happened, like, communicate what happened. Communicate it to yourself, to the other person, to any other party involved. Every problem can be chopped up to miscommunication, most likely. But yeah, definitely just taking time to really, like, process it, and if you need to have an outlet to talk to someone, then find that. But just always keep swimming.
So do you...
Knowing that I at least learned something from it it feels a lot better. Like, I feel like this feeling of guilt would be so much worse if I didn't know what to do differently.
Mm-hmm.
But I know now, and I learned from that, and I think that feeling of guilt strengthened me as a person in that way.